This is your host, Naya Rodriguez of Philly Live and Uncut. I am here with Range the Messenga. He is one of the label executives of the Ring Music Group, and we are live in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Hello, hello. This is Naya Rodriguez of Philly Live and Uncut. I am here with the mastermind behind Cold Gray.
Oh, what's good? What's good?
Talk to us.
Rings a messenger here at your service.
Let's talk about how you decided to. When did you decide that you were going to start a group?
Um, well, I've started quite a few groups uh over the years. So this particular group, uh, we were starting to form a new production team label. Myself, Deshaun Penn, uh, teaming up with Carvin Hagens. I was already in a production team that was merging. So it was myself and Deshaun and Yanti Strickland, Wiz Gam, Dilemma, the producer, and we were merging with Carvin. And so there was just a lot of new energy for the new endeavor that we were about to embark upon. And I had been kind of wanting to build a group. I have a mentee who's like a nephew to me, that's from back home in Roanoke, Virginia. He just won his second Grammy for production, and he was under two legendary producers in Cool and Dre. And then I had a client, or have a client, who is killing the game in Tokyo. He's from New York. I met him here in Philly, a Japanese American rapper. And so I was trying to put the two of them together, and I wanted to build like a whole group around the two of them. So that's where the idea got started. That was around July 2022, when the concept first came together. So I put together an artist development camp, and I vetted about 18, 17, 18 different rappers for about 4 months to come up with, I think it was five at the time. The first five were Verso, Miyachi, 808 Ray, Marcus. I feel like I'm missing somebody. Who am I missing? Reek, Six. Y'all help me out. Who am I missing? That was it. That was our. That
was it.
Yeah, that was it. That was it. So then we picked up. We ended up picking up Mars after I met him, going to visit my homie, Vernon Ray, and he was a mentee of his, and so we picked him up, and then we started the group January 1st, 2023 officially, and then we picked up the last two. I was vetting basically throughout the year 2023, trying to finalize the group, and then we picked up Zion Sade and Ja. Uh, so that, so they're eight, basically seven plus one. But yeah. So that was kind of the concept, and just wanted to build something that was going to be a breath of fresh air for what was currently going on. Generally, I wanted to build something that could attack the mainstream, that could be super dope, but that also has substance. So that the templates for the group were based on like the Wu-Tang Clan and based on the Dungeon family. And if you know your hip hop, they're two very different types of things. So I really love the characters, how the characters were developed in Wu-Tang. And so that was a template that I studied. And I really love the freedom and the creativity, kind of left field, that was coming from the Dungeon family. So I basically set out to put together a group that could encompass both of those things.
Perfect. Now, when did you first recognize your love of music? When did it first develop?
I don't even think there was a time before that. Like, that's all I know. Like, my dad is a percussionist, and I grew up in church. So, like, I don't remember anything before music. Like, there was, a drum set in the house, and my mom and dad put me in guitar, piano lessons when I was like 5. So I really don't have any memories prior to music. So that's kind of like a whole life thing. Like me and music kind of been rocking since I've been rocking.
Perfect.
Yeah,
Now, going back to the first performance that Cole Gray had ever done,
yeah.
how was it for you? What was going through your mind in that moment watching
Hmm.
all of the hard work play out before you on stage?
I felt good. It's one of those things where you, I was investing into them, and when you create things, you are anticipating what they're gonna be, what they're gonna become, and I think that was the first chance to kind of see if the vision was a good vision. Seeing them on stage for the first time, we had some interesting rehearsals coming up to that point. So I think it was dope, just to be able to see what it ended up being. And it ended up being a good night. That particular night was the the record company that I'm a part of, the Ring, the production team, putting together his first event, and we had put together events like that before as with the prior production company. So it wasn't my first time doing that type of thing, but it was the first time doing it with Cole Gray, and I was really proud of the guys, and I saw what the potential was, and I also saw the things that I really wanted to work on locking in. So it's just been a process of continuing to evolve since then.
Great. Now, I want to just kind of get your input concerning things because we have a lot of artists that are now um, upcoming artists.
Right.
And for some reason, there's a misconception out there concerning becoming an overnight success.
Okay.
Some artists believe that happens overnight. Can you kind of just let them know your thoughts about that? What actually goes into rehearsals, studio time, just to
Yeah, yeah.
kind of just give them a sense of reality
So
because
the
it's
first
needed.
thing is that overnight success does exist, but overnight success is not really sustainable, right? You can go viral, and you could hit a lick that way. You can go viral and have people uh, really checking for what you're doing because you did a thing that popped, and that can put you into like a different stratosphere from what you've been in. But you can't really sustain that because success is a culture. So if you haven't been a part of cultivating uh, the success, then you don't really know what to do with it when you get it. Studies always show that people who won the lottery tended to lose the money because you didn't earn the money. So you don't really understand what to do with the money once you get the money, because you're not used to having money. It's kind of the same principle with the overnight success that lasts. Those people have been working, they've been grinding. We do a lot of studying, and I made the guys watch the R&B Money podcast that Jay Valentine and Tank's podcast, and they had Friday on the show, who's actually from Philly. Big up to him. And I had the group watch that podcast because it was kind of the it's how the overnight success typically happens, right? He had been grinding for a really, really long time, and he had been sacrificing for a really, really long time, and he had done so much work, uh, and he had a team around him based off of the work that he did, and his team was able to put him in a position, and that position took him off overnight. But the work that he did to be able to sustain, the work that he did to be ready for that was years in the making. And so that's what the typical overnight success is going to be. It's going to be people who've toiled. It's going to be people who've worked and put in a lot of work. And then they get an opportunity that they're ready for because of the work that they put in. And the work that they put in is what enables them to sustain their success. If you haven't put in a certain type of work, you can't sustain the success because you don't really know how you did it. You just kind of lucked out, and you can't do anything long term based off of like luck. You know what I mean? So it's just about.
This is God's plan, I won't quit. This is his plan, I won't